This is the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, where the Jets have come to play a much improved Colt team. The Jets, with a 1-4 mark, feel they must have this game to get back in the divisional race. New York comes in as a slight favorite. As you see, the Jets at 1-4 need every game at this point. Good afternoon, everyone. Don Criqui with Paul McGuire. Playing the Colts is no longer a sure thing for the opposition. This is a team on the rise with some of the best young defensive players in the National Football League. The Colts have been tough on the Jets in recent years, having beaten them 8 of 10 times, and the Jets ball feel that Browning-Nagel might be the key to success.
Right now, Browning-Nagel is only a 50% passer at 5 or 6 games under his belt. Here's a guy that's going to get better and better as this year goes along. He's very smart, he's very strong, and very durable. He's going to be a great quarterback.
The other side of the ball, Jeff George, the starting quarterback for Indianapolis. Well, his coach, Ted Marchibroda, thinks he could be one of the great players in the league before he's done. Marchibroda, the new coach, has put the no-huddle offense made famous by Marchibroda at Buffalo in. And we'll see it to start the game as the Jets kick off. As the ball carries down inside the 5-yard line, Ken Clark, a fullback, runs it back across the 20. Penalty marker comes in. Could be a blocking foul on Indianapolis. That'll set them back. Last year, the Colts, this was a requiem for a football team here at the Hoosier Dome. They didn't win a game here.
5-yard face mask, number 58.
Oh, they got the defense.
First down.
5-yard penalty on the defense, and here comes Jeff George in his 3rd year out of Illinois. He's from the Indianapolis area. His running back, Anthony Johnson, Jesse Hester, and Bill Brooks are the wideouts, along with Reggie Langhorne, a Plan B player in from Cleveland. Gary Cash is the tight end, a very good-handed tight end. A huge offensive line. They're all well over 300 pounds, except for Ron Solt, the right guard. He's only 290. First and 10 for the Colts at their 27-yard line. They probably won't huddle once in the game. Here's Anthony Johnson, a 3rd-year back from Notre Dame, who runs the ball out to the 33-yard line. Got ahead for a 5-yard gain. Mercereau was the tackler on the play. Front forward for the Jets, Mark Gunn. Mercereau, who got a game ball against Tampa Bay last week, or against New England last Sunday night. Paul Fraze, the right tackle, and Marvin Washington, the right end. Houston, Clifton, and Lewis back the line. Brim and Hasty are the corners, with Brian Washington and Lonnie Young, the deep backs for the Jets. As it says of his defense, maybe average in talent. They work harder than anybody around, but we need a dominant defensive player as the Colts go back to the run. And again, they go to Anthony Johnson, who had his best game against Tampa Bay a week ago. Gained almost 70 yards running the ball.
He got a great block from Reese Carthen. Reese Carthen made a quick adjustment back to the outside and enabled Johnson to pick up the first down. Remember, on the right of your screen, you'll see 44. Look at Carthen. He looks now, he makes the adjustment outside, hits Lonnie Young, and that opens the hole. First down.
The Colts, a 1-15 team a season ago, and as Jet fans know, that one victory came against the Jets at Giant Stadium. George, with a strong arm, rips it over the middle, and he makes a connection at the 45-yard line as the wide receiver Bill Brooks comes over to make the catch.
And you folks in New York, if this looks familiar to you, like the offense, well, Ted Marchibroda brought this to the Buffalo Bills, and this is the hurry-up offense, the 2-minute drill through the entire ball game. And with an arm like George has, this can be very, very dangerous.
Can't be indeed. Last week in the Colts-Tampa Bay game, there wasn't one huddle in the entire game. Sam White has the no-huddle offense in at Tampa Bay also. Goslett says of the Colts no huddle, they simply eliminate the huddle. It doesn't run a lot faster than the regular offense as far as getting plays off, but they're running the ball well. Again, they go behind the left side. Cephas Moss and Randy Dixon, 2 300-pound-plus blockers. Brian Washington makes the stop, but it's a first down for Indianapolis. 61-year-old Ted Marchibroda in his first year as coach of the Indianapolis Colts, but he was the coach of the Baltimore Colts and won 3 straight divisional titles back in the 70s. Very similar parallels. The Colts in 1974 were 2-12. He took over. They won the division. Last year the Colts were 1-15. These Colts, with the schedule they have as a last-place finisher, think they might be a contender. Certainly optimism here, something that wasn't here in the past. George had a play.
Wait a minute, now they're going to call. When they stop the play like that, it's after contact. It's usually against the offense.
Anthony Johnson's already run the ball 3 times for 17 yards for the Colts, who had one of the worst running games in the league. Jerry Austin, the referee.
One thing that's interesting offensive formation, they didn't talk about it yesterday, but they bring Johnson, who is the running back, all the way to the outside. He becomes a wide receiver. Kerry Cash is a tight end on that side, and then they have the 2 wideouts, Jesse Hester and Billy Brooks on the top side.
The offense move, full start, 5 yards, still first down.
Well, you know, when you look at Jeff George, when he gets up in this cadence, you can't be moving around. Watch his legs. He starts moving his feet and moving his body and jerking, but actually, when you look at it, it could have been Ron Solt on the other side, the guard too, because he pulled up.
As a starting quarterback, Jeff George has a record of 7 wins and 22 losses, but he's 3-1 against the Jets. We asked him about that success yesterday.
Yeah, we said, why, you know, Jeff, why are you so successful against the Jets? And he said, I don't know.
Ignorance is bliss. Here's a throw to Bill Brooks again. A first down pitch on 1st and 15. It's good for a gain of about 6 yards. Mo Lewis, 57, was the tackler for the Jets.
And Jeff George said if there is a favorite target that he has, and the guy he's going to look to, first of all, he needs to pick up something, is this man right here, Mr. Bill Brooks. I was looking at you yesterday when you talked to Jeff George and you asked him that question about why is he so successful. You were waiting. I saw your pencil was all set, waiting to take down a great note that you could put on the air, and he looked at you and just said, I don't know.
Yeah, made sense to me. Second down and a long 8. George lets it go long. He has a man out there, and the coverage is good by Hasty, one of the best one-on-one covers in the conference, James Hasty. And again, George was looking at Brooks deep.
You know, one of the things that's interesting when we were talking to Bill Brooks yesterday, and we said, you know, how do you get the information from Jeff George? They said we could do some eye contact. We looked at the outside. Other guys can be running routes, and I can look at Jeff George and say, hey, I got somebody I can beat on the outside. But if I'm going to try to beat somebody, it's not going to be James Hasty.
And he talked about he liked the fly pattern, which he just ran when the play broke down. Third down throw by Jeff George, standing in, lets it rip. He's got an open man for a first down at the 32-yard line as Jesse Hester, a former L.A. Raider, comes back at the ball, and the Colts drive on.
And, Crick, let me tell you something. This whole thing starts with offensive line. I was here a year ago. They had no offensive line here. But now you're going to see Jesse Hester is going to come back. Watch what he does. And because Jeff George has all the time in the world to throw the ball, there's just no way that a pass defender can stay with a wide receiver that long.
Hester out of Florida State was a former #1 draft choice for the Raiders, did nothing with them. But he averaged 57 catches a season in 2 years here. Opening drive after the opening kickoff, the Colts have the ball down to the Jets' 32-yard line. And now Jeff George sees something he doesn't like. So he has to use a timeout to come over and talk to Coach Marcia-Broda. Nothing on the board yet. 10:09 to play in the first quarter. And we'll be back to the Hoosier Dome in a moment. Jerry Austin, Haslett lamenting when we met with him yesterday about the penalties that came at the absolute worst possible times, killing drives. Right now, the Jets are having problems stopping an Indianapolis no-huddle offense. With Jeff George at the controls, this is only the second game with Jeff George running the no-huddle in the regular season. He'd been out early part of the season with a thumb injury. Played very poorly at Tampa Bay in the first half, was outstanding in the second half as the Colts outscored the Buccaneers 17-0 to win the game. Won at 24-14. Jets may have left early. Look at the arm on George as he rips the ball over to Bill Brooks again. And he's inside the Jets' 25-yard line. Lonnie Young makes the tackle. Marcia-Broda talking about George's arm so strong that he really throws the football like a baseball.
It's going to be against the defense because they didn't, I would say they didn't stop the play. If it were against the offense, they would have stopped the play. But here's a question. Now, you got second down in about a yard,
Offside,
or do you take first and 5?
Penalties decline. Second down.
Offside call was against the Jets. Penalty declined by the Colts, and they'll advance the ball on the reception down to the 23-yard line.
Now, this is one of those situations, really, Crick, when you think about it. You could have the ball now first and 5 with an extra down, or second and short. They're going to go for second and short.
Pete Carroll, the defensive coordinator, shouting out instructions. George can throw a football leaning back off his back foot under a big rush 60 yards in the air. He can throw it over 80 yards. Goes back to the run. Here's the ex-Giant Maurice Carthon busting straight ahead inside the 20 and down to the 19-yard line. First down, Indianapolis. Now let's go to NFL Live in New York and Bob Costas.
Don, the Dolphins were down at one point 17-7. They rally at home, and this is the winning TD. Mark Higgs takes it outside and scores from a yard out. That came with about 5 minutes to go. They hold on, withstanding a late drive by the Falcons, holding them on downs deep in Miami territory, and they win 21-17. Miami 5-0. Meanwhile, Philadelphia lost at Kansas City, so the Dolphins are the only undefeated team left.
Heck of a year for Miami, and they could get better with those great young defensive players. First down, Indianapolis. Jeff George throws the in look off the hands of Jesse Hester. James Hasty was covering on the play for the Jets.
Boy, you're absolutely right. I mean, this guy, Jeff George, watch how fast this ball gets there. Hester, bang, as soon as the break is there, the ball's there. The ball was a little bit behind Jesse Hester on that play. If the ball would have been out a little bit further out in front, probably would have made the catch. But George can get that ball there in a hurry. Ted Marchibroda just says every time this guy throws, he's amazing to him. Inside the 20, 4 of 6 for touchdowns. They are just inside the 20.
George says he really loves the no huddle. It gives the quarterback a lot of control and keeps the pressure on the defense. And now the Jets, who had 7 sacks against New England last Sunday night, get their first of the day. Paul Fraze was coming hard, number 91.
Paul Fraze is in there, and Gunn is in there. Watch this. Jeff George, when he goes to step up, that's where Fraze gets an arm on him and knocks him down. You don't share that sack. That sack's all yours, Paul.
His third of the season. Came in with 2. So the Colts are set well back down. You're going to see the strong arm of Jeff George at the moment as they have a 3rd down coming up. And the Colts need 19.
They got to get it off in 5 seconds also.
Here comes the rush. George takes a look. Here comes the rush. Gets it away and alertly grounds the ball legally. No foul call against him. No loss of down. But George had nobody to go to. Bobby Houston, number 55, coming on the rush for the Jets.
Well, what was going to happen? He's going to try to get the ball to Maurice Carthon, but Mo Lewis, number 57, the linebacker, read the play perfectly. It was a rollout to George's left. He turned back to throw to Maurice Carthon, and he was covered man-to-man by Mo Lewis, the linebacker. George had no place to throw the ball.
So Dean Biasucci comes out to try a field goal. Man who in the offseason is a Shakespearean actor. And a good field goal kicker. Holder is Ron Stark, the punter. Be a 45-yard attempt. In the dome here, perfect kicking conditions. Ball on the way, but he's wide to the right. So the Jets escape without giving up points after an extended opening drive by the Colts. 7:56 to go in the first quarter. And the Jets, with Browning Nabel at quarterback, go on offense when we come back. Back in the capital city of the Hoosier State, Indianapolis, where the Colts, after a 13-play drive, Paul, come away with nothing.
I mean, that's that time of possession deal. That thing doesn't mean a thing unless you put some points on the board. You had the ball for over 7 minutes, you don't score.
The sack by Paul Fraze was huge. That knocked him back, and then Biasucci missed the 45-yard field goal. Here's a hard pop put on number 32, Blair Thomas of the Jets. Well, there's some great players in that defense. We'll be looking at them shortly. The Jets on offense with Nagel at quarterback. Blair Thomas averaging 4.7 yards a rush. Colts are particularly impressed with Brad Baxter, the fullback. Al Toon and Rob Moore, 2 standout wide receivers. Mark Boyer, 5 years at Colt, as its tight end. Criswell, Cadigan, Sweeney, White, and Eatman across the blocking front for Nagel.
2 tight ends in the game for New York.
Roy Sadowski also in the game. Second down and just over 10. It's Toon in motion. They go to the run. Baxter takes it. He's out to the 30-yard line. Got 3. The Colts on defense. Their front seven includes 5 #1 draft choices, all high #1s. Empton was the first pick in the last draft. John Hand at right end was also a #1. So was Banks, the left backer. Quentin Corriette, the #2 pick in the first round last April. Harrod might be the best defender. Inside linebacker, who's the leading tackler. And Dwayne Bickett, a former #1 out of UFC. Cosley says he's as good as any outside linebacker in the NFL.
And the Colts do something a little bit different on defense when they go into the nickel situation. I'll explain to you in a moment.
Nagel drops. He needs 7 on the throw. Gets it downfield, and it's off the hands of Altoon as Browning Nagel took a hard hit. Coming hard was Sam Clancy.
And Sam Clancy is the guy that gets in and puts some heat on. This is a little rollout. And what the Colts do, they keep all of their linebackers in, all 4 of them. And you see Clancy coming in and gets a good hit. That's a solid hit. And the ball is high enough. I think the ball could have been caught by Toon, number 88. He hit him in the hands.
So Louis Aguiar now drops back to punt, standing at his 10-yard line. He'll hit it about the 15. Back here is Clarence Verdun, who returned a kick for a touchdown in the upset win over the Jets last November. 140 yards. Verdun takes it out of bounds. And it'll be 1st and 10 for a second time for the Indianapolis Colts to start a drive.
Honestly, we will show it again when the Colts are on defense, but what I was talking about, I don't leave you just hanging there, is that they take the linebackers, the 2 outside linebackers, Bickett and Banks, and they put them up on the line of scrimmage as rushers. Then they only use 2 defensive linemen in the middle. Clancy is one of them. And then they use 5 defensive backs, and we'll get a chance to show it to you later on. It's very interesting because most teams don't do that.
Jeff George, who grew up nearby, Indianapolis in Carmel, Indiana, and his 30-year collegiate career at Purdue. He was the #1 rated high school player in America. Went to Purdue. They ran a down-the-line option, so he left there. Illinois became the NFL's #1 draft choice 3 years ago. Good play fake. Throw and a drop ball at the Jets. Jesse Hester turning back at the ball. He had some pop on that one.
There was some pop on it. But you got to look at Kyle Clifton, number 59, the linebacker. As he goes back, you see him just on the right of the screen. When he goes back, he backs out of it. Watch this ball whistle by his head, and he really never sees it. Here comes the ball. Watch this. Let's look at Kyle. Where is it? Whoop. There goes the ball. This ball is traveling.
Tell you, Paul, he's got zip on it like John Elway. Yeah, those are too hard sometimes. He put that on a line 30 yards downfield. Another big rush. They're throwing a connection this time as the always reliable Bill Brooks comes back and gets the ball.
Lonnie Young is made a good play on Bill Brooks that time to keep him from getting the first down. But again, I don't know. You know, I've seen George. His hand still hurts him. He still gets his tape. But I'm telling you, this guy can throw a football. And when he throws the ball, it's either he can throw a sidearm, he can throw it overhand, but the man can throw.
Third and short now for Indianapolis. A scoreless first quarter. Hand off. Here is Rod Culver, a rookie running back. And he is taken down by linebacker Joe Kelly. But he does get ahead for enough, it looks to be, for the first down. And the spot is at the 49-yard line, so it's first down Indianapolis.
One thing, we were talking to the Jets yesterday, Pete Carroll, and he said there's one thing you really have to stop with the Colts, their offense, is what? And he said stop the draw. Now, they have not even thrown a draw. They've faked a draw and threw downfield, the one to Hester that he didn't catch. But they have not even attempted a draw play yet.
Back to Carthon. He cuts back and gets down to the 48-yard line of the Jets. Maurice Carthon, who Bill Parcells, when he coached the Giants, used to rave about, he set the tone in practice. Nobody worked Maurice Carthon, and he expected everyone around him to work that hard.
Well, and what a great blocker he is. I mean, when he goes up, he's like Page to me of Miami. He's the kind of guy that all you got to do is follow him. Get in the hole behind him, because he's going to get you 2 yards. by just following him up through the hole. And he's going to get a piece of someone, and he always does. He likes to block linebackers.
Big enough to do it at 240. George sets in the shotgun. As you see, it's 2nd down and 8 for the Colts. And then with a 2-2 record, having beaten Cleveland and Tampa Bay, long ball. And a bit much on it for Jesse Hester, covering on the play with White Brim, left cornerback for the Jets.
I like what Brim did. You know, Brim got right up in Jesse Hester's face, and it was like the old bump and run. He had him one-on-one all the way down the field and just stayed with him. Watch this. There's Brim. Look at this run. Perfect positioning now. He's watching Jesse Hester's eyes right here. And now when he looks back, he can see the ball is out of bounds. He doesn't even have to look back. He's watching Hester, and that's what a good cornerback does. You watch the receiver's eyes. When he's looking, his eyes will get bigger as that ball's coming in, then you make your move.
They're going to get big a lot today because George will be throwing deep ball. Look at that throw by George. The Langhorn, the former Cleveland Brown, is down to the 26-yard line. Grim covers, but this can really...
He has to throw the ball on the spot for Langhorn, because when you see where the people are that are downfield, Washington will be one of them down there. There's that throw, that pop. He gets hit afterwards. That's okay. But watch Langhorn now. Watch where this ball has to be. See, Cal Clifton's right there. Washington's there. The ball is perfect.
Colts, you know, Paul, feel that Langhorn was the best Plan B signing of any team from the production they've gotten from him. He's made a lot of big plays. He had some big ones last week in the upset of Tampa Bay. Colts will go the whole game without a huddle. First down and 10. No score in the first quarter. Johnson. Hard hitting running back. South Bend, Indiana.
You know, Rick, yesterday we were talking to Jeff George, and we asked him about, you know, okay, how do you really feel about the hurry up? He just started smiling. He said, what an experience it is, because I get a chance to call my own plays. And it was frightening at first, because I thought, boy, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to call pass plays every down. Well, that doesn't happen. He said you really get into the flow of the game, and you have a feel for what's going on, and you really have the defenses off guard. And Buffalo runs it as good as anybody.
Said it's almost like backyard football. Sometimes we draw up our own plays in the huddle. Anthony Johnson finds a way. Ball on the field, but the ground forced the fumble.
Boy, I'll tell you, this Anthony Johnson, what a sensational run he just made. He only picked up a few yards on the play, but he would not go down. Got underneath people and got the best out of it.
Johnson with a career high. He'd never given. Critical game for the Jets, and again, George has to use the timeout. That's 2 gone already. The Jets giving him a lot of defensive looks. So he comes back over to get some counsel on the sideline from Archie Broda. There's a break on the field. No big plays allowed if we can do it. And 4th turnover. Turnovers have killed the Jets. They turned it over 15 times in those opening 5 games. 9th play of the drive coming up now, Paul, for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, and again, remember that there really has not been big plays. The Colts went down here before. They had a, 13-play drive and came away nothing. And here they are down here again, 3rd and long.
3rd down and 5. Colts ready to run their 22nd play of the first quarter. The Jets have had 3 offensive plays and a punt. George gets time, starting to run out of it. Rips it downfield and nicely defended. Hasty went up in the air, banged the receiver, and knocked it free from Langhorn.
And we got one of the Colts down. Kevin Call, number 71, the big tackle, is slow getting up and going back to the huddle, and he's in on the field goal team.
Biasucci, who missed from 45 yards out after that 13-play opening drive, now getting set for another attempt to be a 39-yarder. .120 to go in the first quarter. Biasucci again is wide right, so he has given the Colts nothing despite their control of the first quarter, and the Jets again take over the ball after Biasucci goes wide right.
Rick, I'm going to tell you now, you're looking at 2 teams that are struggling. Here are the Colts. They've been down here twice, and both times really not hard field goals. Biasucci pushes 2. The snaps are perfect. The hold is perfect. He's just missing the ball. You can't keep doing this with a team that's struggling. You let the Jets keep getting that confidence in defensively. They know, hey, look, we're only giving them field goals, and they can't even take those things. This offense can put it together because they have a strong attack on the outside in the perimeter game, the 2 wideouts.
Now the Jets try to go on offense, and they go back to Blair Thomas, who runs it into the right side of the Indianapolis defense. Nose tackle Tony Siragusa, who's from Kenilworth, New Jersey, makes the stop. Tonight on NBC, the presidential.
3 wideouts with Chris Burkett in.
Nagel to throw on 2nd and 6. Good throw. Burkett has the ball and a Jet first down as he's out to the 39-yard line. Eugene Daniel, one of the corners, makes the stop.
Well, Chris Burkett. Now, Browning Nagel told us yesterday if there's a 3rd down guy and a guy that he likes to go to, it's going to be Chris Burkett because he loves to go across the middle and he'll catch a ball in the crowd. Here he comes. Number 87, Chris Burkett. Across the middle, catches the ball in the crowd.
14-yard gain on the play, and the Jets' first down. So the first quarter goes quickly. Nothing on the board despite the dominance of the Colts. 2 missed field goals. The only scoring opportunities, and the Jets will have it 1st and 10 when we come back to the Hoosier Dome. Last week against Tampa Bay, the Colts had the ball for 30 seconds to the first quarter. Had 4 offensive plays. Today they've had it virtually the entire first quarter against the Jets, but still no score.
2 missed field goals. You know, again, you got to score. When you get in a position and you're a team, and you have 2 teams out here right now that are struggling to just stay in the hunt. Miami, they already know they've won. They've gone 5-0 now. But you've got to put points on the board whenever you can.
Oslick says of his young quarterback, Browning Nagel, he has big play potential on every down. And on the equal of Jeff George's. Here is a handoff and a counter play. Blair Thomas runs it across the 40 and got maybe 2 yards. Sam Clancy, number 76, was the tackler for the Colts.
All right, when you look at just we can hold it as defense right here. Take a look at the down linemen are Chip Banks and Bickett. 50 and 51 on the top side. So when Nagel saw that, he decides he's going to run a running play. Okay, let her go. Now they're going to run because they have 4 linebackers in there, but Sam Clancy goes in and stuffs it.
Brings up 2nd down. Jets need 7. Takes a look one way, goes the other, and almost makes the connection to Burkett again. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
They got John Baylor was in there on a rush. All right, that defense that we're talking about is what the Colts call a loaded defense, loaded with linebackers. Look at that. You see Banks and Bickett. They get up on the line of scrimmage. The only 2 down linemen are Entman and Clancy, and then the other 2 linebackers, Harrod and Coriat, are in the middle. And then they use 5 defensive backs. They bring Belser in as the 5th defensive back. They're in that defense now.
3rd down. Nagel on the run. Way back. Lets it go. And it's incomplete. And it would have gained no yards were it complete. So the Jets will have to punt the ball as Nagel looking at Rob Moore coming back to the quarterback who is in deep trouble.
Quentin Coriat, number 55. Watch him. Nobody blocks him. Herb Eatman lets him get into the inside. He forces Browning Nagel out. But look who's chasing now. There's Banks, 51, a linebacker. Coriat, 55, a linebacker. And then 50, Bickett was also there along with Entman.
Talked about Coriat, Paul. These Colt players, and they could never believe a guy 250 pounds could run that fast. Out of Texas A&M, he was the number 2 pick in the entire draft after Entman. Colts have both of them. Downfield punt. Fair catch is signaled for and made by Clarence Verdun at the 15-yard line. So again, the Colts take over with the long field to go after a 49-yard punt. At a quarterback. I remember Jim Bob Taylor, Art Schleister. He'll know the line today.
I mean, look at this list goes on and on and on. Rusty Hilger, he's back at where is? I think he's back in Seattle.
Not in the NFL. Now they got a guy they think can really deliver. Archer Broda, Coach Roman Gabriel winning the NFL's MVP with the Rams in '69. Penalty markers go down. Anthony Johnson doesn't know it. He's having a great time. Going 18 yards downfield. They could go, depending on who the call is against.
Rick, they didn't blow the whistle, so obviously, again, I would say it's against the defense.
Offside, defense.
It's the defense. The problem is when you go offside, you cannot stop. I mean, you've got to keep going. You're offside. To the right of the screen is going to be offside. It's Washington. CM97, he's offside. Now he gets blocked to the outside. They cut back inside, and then Johnson picks up 13 or 14 yards on the play.
Anthony Johnson knew it was going on. Play goes, and the Colts move the ball out to their 32-yard line. Johnson gets closed nicely. Lead tackler was Bill Pickell, number 71.
There's little things, if you're watching backs and learning from young people. What Johnson just did there, Anthony Johnson, he went to his left, right of the screen. But watch what happens. I'll tell you guys right here, stop. Stop the screen. Now watch what he'll do. He'll stop here. He can't go any further. So now he's going to come back, let her go. He's going to come right back in and pick up about 4 yards. That's hustle. And that's running smart.
Powerfully built back, 6 feet tall, 225 pounds. George gets knocked. A big hit on a blitz. Coming hard on the play was Bobby Houston, an outside linebacker, and Jeff George is down. A blindside hit in the small of the back.
I'm telling you, if he gets up, I mean, he's got the wind knocked out of him, but Bobby Houston, no one laid a glove on him. Just a great time for a blitz, and Houston drilled it. And that was a fumble. Jeff George is down.
Hit as hard as you can get hit.
Here it comes. Watch on the right. Bam, right there with his shoulder pads. He didn't hit him with the helmet in the back. He hit him with his shoulder pads. A tremendous play by Houston and the defense of the Jets. That's when you know when you're blitzing.
Even the flak jacket doesn't help there.
The thing about it is, when we see it, watch George is looking to his right. So he's looking away from Houston. He never sees Houston. See George here? He can't see him. He can't even feel him. Bam! I mean, he never, if you have a little bit inside your peripheral vision, if you could just get a piece of someone and see something quick, you can duck, you can flinch, you can do some other things with it, but he didn't have a chance.
Let's watch that again and listen at full speed with sound.
That's smart. Great lick by Bobby Houston.
George was sacked 57 times last season. Only the New England quarterbacks were sacked more. But when the Colts beat the Jets last November, the Colts didn't give up on a single sack to the Jets. Jack Trudeau is now in, the backup quarterback. Go deep on his first throw, and he makes the connection out to the 44-yard line for a first down. Reggie Langhorne got the ball.
I just got a feeling on that play, and I know they're going to say I'm wrong, but I got a feeling that here comes Trudeau in the ball game. He is not throwing the ball. He's been standing there on the sidelines, never had a chance to warm up, and you got to think, 3rd down and 8, well, they're going to run the ball. They'll get away with it and run the ball. Now, Jeff George is back, but they kind of relaxed on defense. Trudeau, he just goes downfield. Langhorne, first down. What a call. What a throw.
What a throw it was out to the 44. We have 12 minutes to go in the first half. Still no score.
100% Trudeau. Sit down.
And improve on that. Colts have missed 2 field goals. Here is an end around. Running with the ball is Bill Brooks, and he is ahead to the 50-yard line. Looked like the Jets had that sorted out. We're going to make the play in the backfield. Marvin Washington and Lonnie Young with the tacklers.
I don't like that play. I don't like it. You're at the 45-yard line. You're moving the ball. Then you run a reverse. All right, they pick up 5 yards. But so many things can go wrong with this. Here comes Brooks now. He's back. If he's hit right there in the backfield, that's like an 8 or 9 yard loss. Lonnie Young comes up and makes a super play by the defense. They got a 5-yard gain, granted, but I don't like that play called at that part of the field.
We get word down to Jeff.
He's not going to listen.
Get that out of the play call book. Here is Anthony Johnson breaking tackles on a 2nd and 5. He gets 8. First down Colts.
He made, Trick. I mean, that is incredible. This young man has got some fine moves. We saw him earlier cut back and pick up 4 yards. This time he just steps over. I think it's Mercero, number 94. Here he comes. Here comes Johnson. It is. Look at this. Right over top of Mercero. Picks up the first down.
And the ball is advanced inside the 45-yard line. Interesting parallel when Mark DeBroda took over the Colts in the 70s. He had A great young quarterback in his third year, and Burt Jones, who soon after became the NFL's MVP in '76, takes over this losing Colt team with a great young quarterback in his third year, Jeff George. And really, you get the feeling, although Marchibroda didn't come right out and say it, he thinks George can be better than any of the quarterbacks he's coached. And that includes Gabriel, Burt Jones, and he had Jim Kelly last couple of years at Buffalo. Of course, was the NFL's most valuable player.
And he thinks this guy is better, or will be better. Will be better. Put it that way.
Second down along 5, back to Anthony Johnson in the Colt running game, which heretofore had averaged just 2.3 yards a carry. Busting in for almost 5 yards a pop against the Jets. Joe Kelly, the tackler.
This Anthony Johnson is a strong runner, and he's got quick moves once he gets through the hole. Watch the moves that he makes here. Johnson goes inside, stops, back outside. Oh, Lewis misses, back inside.
Johnson had never got, he's from South Bend, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Did they win yesterday? Citadel 6-0. Just want you to know. We will be going to a bowl game. Notre Dame won't be.
Maybe to play Notre Dame.
That would be interesting. They'd probably beat them, too.
Well, they prevailed over East Tennessee Tech, right, yesterday? Here's a throw to Bill Brooks, who is down, but not touched, and he gets up and gets 5 more. 3rd and 3, good for 10 yards, and then Colts first down.
A couple things happen on this play where Jeff George puts the ball, you have no chance of intercepting it. Watch to the left of your screen. Now watch where he throws the ball to Brooks. Right there. Stop this thing. Brooks does not have a first down. Now watch. You talk about hustle on a team. He gets back up and gets the first down. This is an altogether different team than you saw a year ago.
So the Colts continue to control the tempo of the game, running the ball a lot with Anthony Johnson, Jeff George making some big throws, and Jack Trudeau in for one play, making one also. Here's a throw and a strike. Jesse Hesper, he's down to the 16-yard line. Mo Lewis was on the coverage, but the Jets defense, they're going to wear out pretty soon, and that's what he told us yesterday, as you recall, Paul, is that one thing about the no-huddle, you see that defense, hands on hips pretty early in the game. It wears them out.
You know, you've seen Buffalo play so many times, and now you're seeing the hurry up here. And the Colts, is their 3rd possession, moving down the field again. Of course, they have the score, but these guys are having fun. They're just running out, and he's throwing the ball, and they're open. He's got a gun on him that can get the ball anywhere he wants to throw it.
Jet corners, look at how far off they're playing.
They have to.
They're conceding the out patterns. 10 yards off the receivers. Here's George taking a look. Slap back. George caught it. Bill Patel got a hand on it. Jeff George caught it and thought the better of it and dropped it.
He was trying to knock the ball down so no one else could get it. On that last play, had he looked to his left right now, he had Langhorne wide open. His left, he looks this other way. Langhorne was open on the short pattern. The one you're talking about, they're giving him the first 6 or 7 yards. Now watch Jeff George. He just wants to knock the ball down. Patel was there, makes the hit. But that short slant pattern, when you have the corners, Brim and Hasty off, now they're coming up a little bit. Brim is up, Hasty's back.
Brim is way up on Jesse Hester to the bottom of your screen. 2nd down and 10, Indianapolis. Jesse Hester took Brim deep, turned out on him, and Jeff George was one of those great as a dive throws, is right on the numbers again.
84 on 43. Hester on Brim. Watch, he runs him off and just comes. As soon as he turns, the ball is there. I mean, there's just no way that you can defend against anything like this because you don't have a chance. You're reading the receiver. He knows exactly where he's going. Now you have Hester back on the top side on Hasty, and Hasty's all the way off almost to the end zone. You've got to go right back to Jesse Hester.
They're down. Colts need 2. You know they don't want to try another field goal. They missed 2 already.
Just offside again.
Be a free play. Completion is made to Langhorne, and that will be good for the first down.
You know, it's easy to say when you're sitting up here, but the Jets corners, you're going to have to get up on the receivers because if you're, what's happening, all these things are timing patterns, Rick. what's happening is Jeff George knows that he's got the guys laying off about 6 or 7 yards. So by the time they go down and make that contact or make that move, that ball is in the air at the turn. So the receivers, as soon as they turn, the ball is there. The defender has no chance.
Hasn't so far. Jeff George continues to control this game. Last week he had an abysmal start against the Buccaneers. His first 4 plays, 2 were intercepted. He was sacked on one, and the other one was one hopper into a receiver. Then in the second half, he had his game together, and the Colts rolled. Even their record at 2-2. First and goal for Indianapolis. Scoreless team in the second quarter. Coming back, Ken Clark, 230-pound fullback, getting the ball for the second time in the game. The first time he returned the opening kickoff. Bill Pickell and Marvin Washington were the tacklers.
We're bringing some beef in now. William Schultz, number 74, is in. And
goal line defense comes in. 5:51 to play in the first half.
Goal line offense comes in also.
Yep.
They got Schultz. He is as a receiver on the outside. He's legal.
And up to Culver. Nothing there as the Jets jamming up in the middle. Colt offensive linemen, they're not all great ones, but they're so big it takes time to run around them. That must average about 315 in the offensive line, maybe more.
They got bigger yesterday. I mean, they just got bigger when they walked out. They rumbled so much in the grass it started thundering and lightning in the range game.
Zephyrus Moss, the left tackle's the biggest. He's about 350.
Also showers his benefit as far as car wash. They put that hook in his mouth to drag him through there. Little brushes get on him and kind of clean him up.
They're down in 3. Jeff George timing pattern. It'll go for 6 as Bill Brooks is in the end zone. Here's the penalty marker.
They may have a pick play because Jesse Hester went inside. If they have the it's against offensive pass interference. Jesse Hester, he goes inside and takes the corner away. Now I don't know if it's Hasty or not, number 40, but Hasty was on the ground. Look on the top. Now the outside guy, the top guy, watch what he does. He goes in, he takes the defender inside. You can't do that. That's a pick. That's a block. The official was right there and made the call. Perfect call.
So Ted Marchibroda again watches his Colts march the ball methodically down the field against the Jets and then misfire down in the scoring area. 2 missed field goals, and now they're set back. They'll have 3rd down and goal from the 13-yard line coming up. Get the feeling that George is probably getting a play sent in from somebody. He calls most of them himself, and he likes that.
You know they're throwing the ball. There's nobody in the backfield. There's just Jeff George.
Next to tight ends to pass block. They give him time. Here's a throw and a catch. Oh, no, he dropped the ball. Had it and lost it. Anthony Johnson went up, had one hand on it and lost it coming down, and so the Colts hold their breath while they send out Biasucci again.
And they're still holding their breath. He's missed 2. Look at this. Johnson, watch this. Almost a one-handed catch. He's up in the air. He's trying to get the ball back down and can't get it in. Coverage, Joe Kelly was there. I mean, he couldn't do anything about it. The pass was perfect. But, you know, when you sit back there like that with no blockers back there, you better have enough people to pick up what they're sending.
Shakespearean actor Biasucci. To be or not to be, so far it has been not. This time it is to be. 3 points are on the board with 4:43 to play in the first half, and Biasucci, after 2 misses, finally connects, and the Colts take a 3-0 lead. Took a hellacious hit earlier in the game from Bobby Houston of the Jets on a blitz. George finally gets the Colts in position, and after 2 misses, Dean Biasucci hits a field goal to give them a 3-0 lead. Don Criqui with Paul McGuire at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis.
Crick, I'm going to tell you, they've had 3 drives of 13 plays. These are just plays, folks. 10 plays, 16 plays. They've eaten up most of the clock, and they have 3 points to show for it.
Biasucci set to kick it off now. Total time of possession, the Colts have had the ball for over 21 minutes. The Jets for just over 3 minutes. Jets have had virtually no offense in this game as the kick goes to Terrence Mathis, 5 yards deep, and he won't bring it out. So the Jets, Donnie Nagel, number 8, to quarterback them on offense, go 1st and 10 from the 20 when we come back. Big play young quarterback, but so far the Jets have made none, as the Colts with an unbelievable dominance in number of plays.
Yeah, you know, you look at it, and these guys, I mean, they're in the ball game. Ronnie Nagel came out and said, "Hey, look, we're only down 3 points. We haven't had the ball much. I'm not tired. I can't be tired. I haven't done anything yet."
Very confident young player, and the Colt coaches were saying he's coming off his best game last Sunday night against New England. I think he could be particularly tough today, not so far. And around, Mathis has some room to run. Terrence Mathis takes it out to the 25-yard line. Knocked out of bounds at the 26. Coming over to get him on the play was Jason Belzer, rookie defensive back, number 29. Play with the Kansas City Chiefs. Cesar Belzer. Remember him?
Is that?
Remember Cesar Belzer?
No, I'm right now.
I don't recall him myself. He did play in the league. They really like this kid, though. He's a first-year player, an 8th-round draft choice from Oklahoma. Nagel on 2nd and 4. Look at that rip. Tip ball. Incomplete. Very nearly a pickoff. Rob Moore was the intended receiver. And Chris Good, the left cornerback, for 37, was going for the ball to hit the turf.
Rob Moore goes down. Nagel fires this ball in. Watch, his hand comes up and hits the ball. And here's where Good almost has a chance. And then Rob Moore almost has a chance again to get it back. It's one of those things where you're better off. Don't even put your hand up when you're going to the ground like that if behind, because bad things can happen, and it almost happened there.
Very nearly. Now pressure play for Nagel and the Jets. 3rd down, they need 4. From the shotgun. He takes a look, makes the throw, and Burkett had it and lost it. It's a pickoff. This is Chris Good heading towards the end zone. We're waving it off, though. Apparently the ball came in on the 1 hop.
They're saying the ball hit the ground, Rick. You're right.
So instead of an intercept and a run back, it's an incomplete pass, but the Jets will have to punt from deep in their own end.
Well, you better hope it's an incomplete pass, because if it weren't, I mean, not being hit like that, the ball comes up in the air, would have been an interception.
This game, you can't overemphasize the importance of this game to the Jets.
Here it is. Burkett, that ball goes down, pops up, because, see, he's not hit at all. So when he hits the ground, if they call it a catch, the ball pops up, it would have been an interception. Or a fumble recovery, actually.
Aguiar to punt for the Jets. Jets should lose this. They go to 1-5, and after a bye week, their opponents are Buffalo, Miami, and Denver. Verdun runs back the punt, a 38-yard punt and a 7-yard return, and Jeff George and the Colts offense is ready to go again when we come back.
One hand.
The game, despite defensive stops on every possession by this young Colt defense.
If you looked at that for the first time, didn't know the score of the ball game, you think the Jets should be getting killed in this ball game, and they're not. They're only down by 3 points. And credit the defense. They're bending, I guess, but they're not breaking.
3:44 to go in the first half. George throws. Ooh, almost a pickoff there by James Hasty, number 40. Reggie Langhorne was in the vicinity. He was running it in, and looked like George was throwing it out.
Well, Langhorne doesn't even know that this thing is coming. Watch this. Langhorne comes in. Here comes the ball. He doesn't even see it. I mean, he's not even looking for it. But the guy that you might want to take a look at eventually is the tight end, Kerry Cash, who is number 88. No one covered him. The guy ran out in the flat. He was all by himself, and no one stayed with him. The people that they're putting on him are linebackers. Bobby Houston is lined up on him.
George is a big quarterback, 6'4", 225 pounds, and on 2nd down, he needs 10. This time they pick up the blitzer. Here's a downfield throw. And
That's pass interference.
Yep, here comes. Everybody had a flag through on it. Lonnie Young. He almost couldn't avoid that, though. The guy seemed to cut into him.
He did cut into him, and Lonnie Young is going for, he's going for the ball, but he gets there just too soon. Here it comes. Bill Brooks is downfield. Watch this. Bang, bang, and you're right.
Defensive pass.
Everybody lost their handkerchief here.
First down.
Lonnie Young, it's unfortunate because Brooks really was going in went right into Young. Lonnie's looking and saying, wait, you know, you have as much right at the ball, but the receiver, you've got to give him some right away. You can't hit him before the ball gets there.
You can play the ball, but you can't play through them.
A lot of hankies, huh?
Yeah, they all came in. And the Colts have a first down at the 36-yard line of the Jets. Indianapolis leading 3-0. Gain of 25 yards on the penalty. Jeff George, a throw and a drop on first down. He's looking at Bill Brooks, number 80. That brings up second down.
Now, one of the things that it is frustrating sometimes for a tight end in this kind of a scheme. Buffalo, Metzelars, and Keith McKellar. Now, Kelly has great confidence in McKellar, and he loves to throw the ball to him. And Metzelars, the first few games of the year, did a great job. But here's Cash now. Most of the time, he stays in and blocks. You're going to see that they line a linebacker up on him, and it just seems like Bobby Houston, number 55, moves everywhere he goes. So if he stays in, Houston's got a chance to go back and cover. If he comes out, he tries to cover. You get that kind of a matchup, you can throw to him.
Go back to the run. Here's Anthony Johnson taking on tacklers on a 2nd and 10 play. He gets inside the 30-yard line, down to the 28. Brian Washington, the Jets' strong safety, was the tackler.
Makes a difference when you have an offensive unit that's playing very well together. There's just some excellent blocking down the line of scrimmage. Randy Dixon gets an outstanding block to open up the hole. Now it's 3rd down and about 3.
Jeff George talking about his quick release passing, that he thinks he really developed it as a top baseball shortstop. He was a major league prospect as a baseball shortstop. Here is another quick release and a connection to Bill Brooks down to the 22-yard line. To give you an idea how recruited Jeff George was, when he was a senior in high school here in Indiana, Dick Hauser, then the manager, the late Dick Hauser, manager of the Kansas City Royals, called Jeff George from the dugout before the first game of the World Series to try to persuade him to go to Florida State. Jeff George appreciated the call and went to Purdue.
And Jeff George, you know, it really was interesting, though, when he was talking about that he credits that quick release to playing shortstop. He says getting the ball, getting it, you know, for the double play. He said it's helped him more than any exercise he ever did as a quarterback.
Hit almost 500 in his senior year in the biggest class of high school in Indiana. Hit a lot of home runs. This time he wisely throws the ball away. Looking at Brooks, it'll bring up second. Now there's a marker coming in. Game clock down to 2:09 to play in the first half. And the call is against the Colts.
Another offensive pass interference call against the Colts. This got to drive you nuts. I mean, one of the things you like Teddy Marchibroda says, you know, just avoid dumb penalties.
10 yards. Repeat first down.
Number 88. While we're talking about when he's a little frustrated, you're not doing much. Kerry Cash, they call him for offensive pass interference. There's a 10-yard penalty. Kerry Cash. What's he do? There's Houston. There's Houston. Pushes Houston.
We've got to keep an eye on Houston if he almost took the quarterback out of the game.
Wait, if you calling that his pass, that's terrible.
There was a marginal call. Houston, the guy that stacked George from the blind side. Now they get him again. This time it's Mario Johnson, rookie from Missouri, coming in, a 300-pound rookie.
This play almost looked like in slow motion, except for Mario Johnson, who got in and made the play. Here we go again with the Jets defense. They are staying in this ball game.
Jets had the ball virtually not at all, but they're still down by just 3 points late in the first half. Lead the trail in the game by just 3 points. Colts up 3-0. Don Criqui with Paul McGuire. What can the Jets do to get some offense? Well, I guess the first thing is get the ball.
Well, yeah, they got to get the ball, but the defense has got to score for them to win the ball game. The defense, I mean, you've got to be very happy with your defense, what they're doing. They're bending it again a little bit, but they're not breaking. Biasucci misses 2 field goals. It could be 9, but only 9. No touchdowns. What are you close to a touchdown?
Jeff George in the shotgun, second in a long, long way. 2nd and 31. He's got that long-range arm, and there it goes. Nice breakup by Michael Grimm, number 43. Going to Reggie Langhorn. Both fans want an interference call, but not's coming. Coverage was good.
Well, they're looking at Brim. And watch this here. Now, do you think it's pass interference? There's Brim. He's going for the ball. All he does is go over top. This is an excellent play by Brim. He played the ball, not the man. I was surprised to see George throw that ball that far across the field, but with his arm, he can get away with it.
We asked him yesterday how far he can throw it. He said probably 80 yards. One of his wide receivers in the room, Bill Brooks, said, I've seen him throw it farther than that. Here's a dump off. It goes to Anthony Johnson. Good open field hit. Brian Washington came up and made the play along with Mo Lewis. So the Jets stop the play. 1:42 left to go now in the first half.
They got a legal motion on the Indianapolis Colts, and they refused this penalty. Stop the clock. They don't have to take a timeout.
Illegal formation. Number 73 is off the line of scrimmage. Penalty is declined.
Defrost Moss, the biggest Colt. O.J. and Will are standing by at NFL Live in New York with the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. That'll be coming up shortly. We have 1:42 to play in the first half, and the Colts will punt for the first time in the game. It's Ron Stark, number 1 punter in the NFL, 44 yards a punt, 4th leading punter in NFL history. All-time leader Sammy Baugh.
Here's your question. If you have an offensive movement in the line, shouldn't the play stop? Shouldn't the play stop and you take the penalty?
You're right. They might be talking that over.
It's an automatic penalty. I mean,
It was before the snap. It is.
I mean, how can he be in motion after the snap? He had to be in motion before the snap. It should still be 3rd down and a 5-yard penalty. If he has illegal motion, these guys are discussing it. Let me yell down to him.
Set the play clock at 5 seconds. Set the play clock at 5 seconds.
Set the play clock at 5 seconds.
Yeah. That's what Mark Gibrota, I think, was screaming at. He couldn't understand why the play shouldn't have been stopped.
Colts were 6 of 9 on 3rd down conversions till they missed on that one. Stark hit it very high. It was a decathlete at Florida State.
Delay a game.
I want to give more room to punt. He kicked it so far.
Delay a game. 5 yards. Still 4th down.
See that kicker there? That was delay a game, just me kicking. Where did they get that shot?
12th most prolific punter.
That's right. Don't you ever forget it.
And it still has the San Diego record. 82 yards. Hurricane Camille at his back. Here is Stark hitting it very high, kind of a knuckler that the Rob Carpenter of the Jets is going to let hop. And it'll be downed at the 7-yard line. Anthony Johnson does it all. He downed it, so the Jets have a long way to go when we come back. They'll take over the ball with just 1:34 to play in the half. We're 30 Eastern time with NFL Live. And most of you will see the NFC's top rusher in action as Emmitt Smith leads the Dallas Cowboys against the Kansas City Chiefs. Or the San Diego Chargers come into Indianapolis to take on these Colts. Check your local listings. And blown out last week by Miami, losing badly again today against the Raiders.
17-3 against the Raiders.
Jets go to the run, and there's not much there for Blair Thomas. It looked like big Steve Empman, the #1 pick, got an arm on him. Along with Corey at 55, who was the 2nd pick in the first round. There's Empman, 293 pounds.
And he's going against Dwayne White, number 67. Well, here's the matchup. Watch this. Who wins? White does, and I'll tell you why. Because White turns him to the inside. Empman doesn't make the tackle. Running back just went down. White just turned at the last second. Now we'll see Steve Empman.
Didn't win that much. It was a 4-yard loss.
No, I'm just saying White had the position on is what I'm talking about.
I'll accept that. Nagel, dangerous position now, looking to fire from his end zone. He goes to the run, and Freeman McNeil runs the ball. Working very hard. The game clock is down to 43 seconds in running. And with the Colts use those early timeouts. The Jets will look to run out the clock now.
Why not? I mean, there's no sense in trying anything down here because you're only down by 3 points. I mean, you have in the game, and you're going to get the ball back. The Jets, are going to get the ball back to start of the second half. So there's no sense in even taking a timeout. They can just run the clock out here.
This Antman is not only the highest paid player ever to come into the NFL, he's also a land baron. His family has 2,000 acres of cattle ranch in eastern Washington. 1,000 acres of wheat farmland.
That's all of eastern Washington.
Clock runs out. The Jets, who did nothing on offense in the first half, do manage to come away with just a 3-0 deficit. NFL Live halftime report coming up.
Single man downfield.
Number 66, 10 yards, repeat, second
Dave
down.
Cadigan.
Left guard, left early. Talking to Big Dave before the game, he said he's never been around any Jet team that's worked harder than this team, and the frustration of having to come back Monday after a loss, and then finally they got the win. He said the one thing we hope to build on is that we're 1-0 in our division. If we can keep winning in our division, we're still in it.
That's one of the interesting things about the Jets schedule. Now they come in here 1-4, but they have not lost to anybody in the AFC East. Now they have to play the Bills twice. They have to play Miami twice. If they can win their division, they go to the playoffs.
Brownie Nagel gets some time, delivers the ball up for grabs on a skip. It goes to Al-Toon out to the 35-yard line. It's a first down for the Jets.
How to put this play in? This thing worked very well. I mean, they got Toon downfield. I think they were trying to hit Freeman McNeil. I'm not sure, but this ball is thrown like a rock. Watch this. Bam. He has no chance for it. The ball's up in the air. Toon is there. Nice tip drill. Makes the catch and gets the first down.
98 straight games for Al-Toon, a 3-time Jet MVP. With a reception, 98 games in a row. So the Jets get their biggest play of the day. A 19-yard gain on a tip ball. First and 10. McNeil. Jeff Harrod, 54, the leading tackler for the Colts. Inside linebacker from Mississippi made the stop.
This is a very interesting defense again, folks, because if you didn't see the first half, the Colts used 4 linebackers, and Entman is one of the guys, of the defensive lineman, along with Sam Clancy, the only 2 defensive linemen in the game. And the Jets, for some reason, think that they can run against it. They have not had any success running against this defense, even though there are 4 linebackers in the game and 2 down linemen. Bickett and Banks are the 2 linebackers that get up on the line of scrimmage, and they are defensive ends that rush.
Nagel on a delayed draw, and Steve Entman makes the stop.
Entman, Coriat, Harrod. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why you think you can run against this defense, because they're going towards the passer. Number 90 is Entman. He's on White, number 67. They're actually a double team. He makes the read, gets back to the inside. Coriat, number 55, is also in there on the play. The 2 number 1s.
Yep. First 2 picks. Entman was the Outland Trophy winner, the Lombardi Award winner, the number 1 player in college football in the opinion of the pro scouts, who know best, the number 1 pick in the draft. Nagel, they're giving him some good time, and he delivers the ball downfield. Beautifully done by Al-Toon, running in the open field. He's down to the Colts' 30-yard line. So the Jets pass blockers digging in and fighting off the Colts to give their young quarterback Brownie Nagel some time, and he delivers the biggest gainer of the day.
It really is. Take a look. Here comes Toon down Daniel downfield. Daniel releases him inside to Pryor. They're waiting downfield for him. Good is down there also. But I'm going to tell you something. When you take a look at this play and you look at Toon, he gets himself open. Not only that, but getting downfield after the catch. But the thing starts way back. When you give Nagel that much time, he's going to find somebody open. He's got a good gun himself.
Blair Thomas out in the backfield. Sam Clancy got there first, and then Quentin Coriat, big rookie linebacker from Texas A&M, number 55, got him.
I think Sam Clancy pulled a hamstring. He got up limping. He grabbed his leg. This play just takes too long. Think how this thing sets up. Blair Thomas, there's no place to go. Sam Clancy is in the backfield. Once he misses, Watch who's around. All the people. Entman, the linebackers, Bickett's there, Belzer's there, and Sam Clancy is limping.
Big Sam never played college football. He was a standout basketball player at Pittsburgh, and in fact, he played for Bobby Knight's gold medal winning team in the Pan American Games in '79.
John Hand will be the guy that subs in for Clancy on this low defense.
It's Bobby's last trip to Puerto Rico. Here's a throw over the middle to the 29-yard line. Mark Boyer had the ball on his fingertips, but it came in low. Coriat was dropping back to cover.
This would have been a super catch by Boyer. I mean, that ball was down low trying to get away from the defender. And Nagel throws this ball. The only place it can be caught. Look at this, down and away. Boyer just really doesn't have a chance. Now you see Coriat covering the linebacker, or covering the tight end. They said about this guy that he can fly.
Jets with their young field goal kicker, Terry Blanchard, who hit 3 of 3 against the Patriots last Sunday night, standing by. Third down throw. Here's Nagel in big trouble. Safety blitz gets him. John Baylor, the strong safety, came in unblocked. Big play call by the defensive coordinator, Rick Venturi.
They sent everyone. I mean, this is what you call bailing out. Now, the Jets did it. And now watch. Here they come. Baylor look at number 36. Nobody gets him. And he's right there. When Nagel peels out, he looks downfield. There's just no place to go. Tony McCoy was also there, number 94. Now they have to punt. They were in field goal position. Now they have to kick a punt.
There's Louis Aguiar back to punt. Big sack. First sack of the day for the Colts defense. Takes the Jets out of field goal range. Mike Pryor is back deep.
I just said kick a punt. You can't throw a punt, can you?
You ought to know. You did it for 14 years, right? Good punt there. A high punt that forces Pryor into a fair catch at his 15. Burkett, who was the Jets MVP last season, almost forced to drop the ball. Colts have the ball and lead him back. 7. There's Rick Venturi, the defensive coordinator of the Colts. He's known some lean time, Paul.
Oh, yeah, well, one victory as the head coach here was against the Jets back in November the 10th, 91. He was the happiest guy. I mean, he's beside himself. He said he's been through some hard times in a year, but he's very happy.
He won some
March game. Yeah.
Northwestern Wildcats, and they got beat 55-0 by Michigan. There's Sam Clancy going off to get checked out. And Turi said after he got beat 55-0 by Michigan, the only difference between me and General Custer is he didn't have to watch the game film. He's a very spirited guy, though, as the Jets play some spirited defense and close on the runner. Anthony Johnson quickly. Remember, Johnson got off to a quick start in the first half. Jets still hanging in despite very limited offense. They're down just 3-0.
Now, this is a hurry-up offense. This is not like Cincinnati's hurry-up offense where they try to trick you. I mean, that's what Sam White, when he had it, they try to get people changing. When he got them changing, get you with 12 people on the field. They don't try to do that. Neither do the Bills try to do that. But they're a little bit more methodical with their offense here.
Anthony Johnson runs the ball out across the 20 to the 22-yard line, where Kyle Clifton, the Jets middle backer, who's been a top player for them now for 9 seasons, makes the stop, 59.
Well, again, about this offense, they say the Bills can run a play about every 15 seconds, which is really a 2-minute drill the entire time. Well, the Colts, again, Marcia Broda told Jeff George, take your time. Run this offense at your pace until you get it adjusted. You look there, you got 45-second clock, and you're down to 15. It's over 30 seconds already.
The Jet coaches said they never quick snap you. There's the throw downfield. Jesse Hester drops a perfectly thrown ball.
I'm going to tell you what. That man right there, you ought to be a little frustrated, pal, because that ball hit Jesse Hester. I mean, you cannot throw a ball any better than he just did, and he put the ball between 2 defenders. Watch this.
Throw.
Look where this ball hits Jesse Hester. Bang. I guess between the 8 and the 4. You can't throw it any better than that, and you can't catch it for him.
You think Michael Brim, 43, might have yelled something that he was coming his way to Beldam?
Boo. Yell boo. He yelled something.
Best throw of the day. Well, something took his mind off. You're getting $800,000 a year supposedly to catch things thrown right at you.
Better catch it.
Rob Carpenter taken down at the 31-yard line. A 56-yard punt. A 10-yard return by Carpenter. Jason Bell's around to stop. And the Jets will go on offense once again. For a drop. Third down throw that was right on the numbers by Jeff George. He dropped it. Colts had a punt. Now the Jets go, trailing 3-0. Nagel again gets time. It is a completion, a beautifully executed play. Rob Moore, tight roping the sideline, makes the reception, gets ahead for a Jet first down. Now they're bringing it back.
Well, they have movement on the line. I think 69 was moving. Jeff Criswell, I
Two men
think.
on the offense moving at the same time. Illegal motion. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
Bruce wants a holding penalty. I mean, that play right there, Browning Nagel gives you an idea of the composure he had. He rolls out, he waited, and then he finally threw the ball downfield, had a first down to Rob Moore.
Jets winning the time of possession. A statistic I know that's dear to your heart.
Yeah, really. They still have a goose egg up there. Do you understand?
Trying to catch on.
That big circle doesn't mean anything. That means nothing. Zip.
Now Nagel has to check off, call a timeout. He sees something in the defense. Jet coach thought they'd see a lot of blitzes today. There haven't been many by the Colts. They got Nagel on one big one, though, for a sack. I've never been into that bench pressing, but I guess 600's a lot. First down and 15 for the Jets now. They go to the run, and Blair Thomas weaving his way ahead. Skirts ahead, and he's dropped all the way across the 35-yard line. A gain on the play of about 11 yards by Blair Thomas.
Number 54, Jeff Harrod, is a middle linebacker, one of the middle guys. Now here he is. Sweeney is blocking on him. He's there. He gets off the play, makes the hit, makes the tackle. That's a good run.
Again, finding his way up the middle as the Jets with a trap block open the gates, and Blair Thomas then picks his way through the front seven. Nice block on Harrod.
All right, here we go again. Now, this is Sweeney just checking out on Harrod. That's his man. He's got him lined up, and just Blair Thomas just sets up the block for Sweeney. I mean, Sweeney's already there, but he makes that move to the left, his left, sets up Harrod. Sweeney just takes him that way. First down.
College coach Joe Paterno said at Thomas that he's probably the only one I've ever seen who loses no speed when he cuts. He absolutely maintains full speed with sharp cuts. He's making some more of those cuts as the Jets find a hole in the middle of the Colts defense now. Quentin Poirier, number 55, on the tackle Thomas.
Again, the Colts are playing that loaded, they call the loaded defense with 4 linebackers and only 2 defensive linemen. Now the 2 defensive linemen are Eppman, number 90, and number 78, John Hand. Tony McCoy comes in. Hand goes out. So there's still only two legal defensive guys. Sam Clancy would have been the guy in there. Tony McCoy is now in the place that Sam Clancy would be.
Nagel had to hurry his throw as Chip Banks, the left linebacker, is coming on a delayed blitz. 51 is looking at Mark Boyer.
When you run a bootleg, you know, it's very difficult against linebackers with the experience of Beckett and Banks. Now watch this. Here comes Browning Nagel to the outside, but watch who's in his face right now. Chip Banks just read it perfectly, was in his face. No place to throw the ball, but throw it away. When you run a bootleg, you've got to hope you freeze that linebacker on the outside like that because there's no one there to block him.
Banks, one of the NFL's sack leaders with 6 in 4 games, but none today. They've gotten to Nagel just once. Here's a throw and a drop by Freeman McNeil. Started to turn upfield before he fully had the ball.
Boy, and Jeff Harrod was there. I think Freeman McNeil might have gotten the first down. I mean, Bruce, you know, he's throwing his hands up saying, you know, what do we have to do? Again, we're in another situation. Here's Browning Nagel. He throws the ball out to Freeman McNeil, and he's not ready for the snap. He's looking around. Watch the ball hit him. Whoops, hello. Here's the ball. Freeman McNeil, and when he throws it to the outside, he can't catch it.
Louis Aguiar back in to punt. The Jets have been outscored this season prior to today, 117-81. Today, they've been outscored 3-0. That field goal, the only scoring in the first half. And again, Mike Pryor, on a high punt by Aguiar, is forced into a fair catch deep in his own end. So Jeff George and the Colts offense ready to work again. George in his right arm will soon be trying to get the Colts out of jail here as they're backed up inside their 10-yard line. He doesn't want to use timeouts like he did early in the first half. And then had no time to work late in half. No way to stop the clock. And they pick up the blitz. Sidearm throw. He makes the completion out to the 14-yard line, a gain of 5 yards.
Finally threw it to the tight end. Attaboy, Kerry Cash. I mean, you got a linebacker on Cash. And it looks like he got poked in the eye.
Got a twin brother that played for the Steelers last year, Steve Cash.
They both got a cash in, huh?
Yep.
He did get poked in the eye.
So first-year player Charles Arbuckle goes in as they attend to carry on the sidelines. Second down in the long 4. Another quick throw. Ooh, almost a pickoff. Skipped off the hands of Reggie Langhorne. Boy, George is upset with his receivers.
Well, I'll tell you what he's upset with on this play is Langhorne stopped. As he was coming across the middle, had he kept going, he'd been able to catch the ball. The ball would have been in his hands. He just stopped and short-armed the ball.
Well, that brings up 3rd down and 4 now for the Colts. Jets can hold here. They could get good field position off the punt. Going for it. He stops his route. The penalty marker comes in. It could be a major penalty call against the Jets here as he was hooked.
What I think they're going to call, if they call anything at all, it's going to be a holding call. Because it looked like Hester hooked up with here's Brim. Now watch what happens. You can't have contact here. Hester stops. Now as he goes to go again, does Brim grab him? Right there on the arm. That's what he's complaining about. The official called it. It is a holding call.
So 3rd and 4, an incomplete pass, and instead a huge penalty call against the Jets. They had a 25-yard call against them earlier in the game on a pass interference. And the Colts stay alive and move the ball over midfield on the penalty to the 49-yard line of New York.
But don't you just love Pete Carroll? He can't be caught up in all the penalties and stuff. He just said that's a 36-yard play. But if Pete Carroll said, hey, let's get on with the defense. Yeah. He's signaling defense out there. Don't lose your composure. You're only down by 3, defense. Stay with it. All right, we had a bad break.
Pitch back to Blair Thomas, who's inside the 45-yard line, down to the 44. Or to Ken Clark, excuse me, the 32 on the Colts. As a Jet is down on the play. Looks like Mark Gunn, number 96, their left end.
They do not need any more injuries in their defensive line.
The Jets have already lost their starting defensive ends, Jeff Lageman and Dennis Byrd. Byrd will be back this season. 3-0 count. Don Criqui with Paul McGuire. In the first half, it was missed field goals by Indianapolis, 2 of them by Biasucci that hurt the Colts. And the second half has been dropped passes, keeping the Jets in the game.
You can't catch a ball when you go like that with your hands. you got to look the ball in. And we're looking at Freeman McNeil drops a pass. It could have been a first down. Hester drops a pass. I mean, the quarterbacks are putting the ball where they have to put it. The receivers have to catch it. That's simple. How much you think he's making? $800,000?
Right up there. Sam Clancy, you point out, gets $725,000.
He doesn't have to catch it.
$42,000 a game as a backup defensive end. Here is Ken Clark, who takes it ahead inside the 40 and down to the 38-yard line.
When things go your way, they start to go your way. Jeff George almost doesn't get there. Watch this here. He's stumbling. He was stepped on. He comes out. He almost misses the connection, and that opened up the hole. Jeff George gets the ball to his running back, but by that hesitation, opened the hole up. Ken Clark picked up the first down.
Jets have to keep them out of the end zone. The way their offense has gone today, the Jets, touchdown by the Colts could be the knockout punch. 2 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the third quarter. Kyle Clifton aligning the blitz, then pulls out of the gap. Here's a quick out. Ball goes to Langhorne, 2 arms on it. Langhorne, after the drop, comes right back and makes a big first down reception to the 25-yard line.
Good point, and he makes up for the drop. He makes up for the drop, and you got to like it. Jeff George goes right back to him. Not only is the ball there, look at this ball on the mark, but after the catch, Langhorne picked up the first down. I think you're right. If the Colts score a touchdown, because the Jets aren't even getting close.
Langhorne holding, apparently banged up his hand or wrist. This could be a decoy, though. He's probably going to catch it with one hand now.
This is your high school ball.
First down and 10, Indianapolis. James Hasty was closing quickly. George is confident, Paul, throwing those out so he can throw it that hard.
Well, you see Langhorne still hold his wrist again. It didn't seem to bother him on that catch. And it takes a strong arm to throw this ball where he threw it, because James Hasty is coming up. Watch this here. Is his wrist all right? Nice catch. Hasty's there. About a 2-yard gain. Langhorne.
They haven't got a whole lot else to go to. They got a couple of young players. Eddie Miller, a first-year player. And Clarence CNN Verdun. And they call CNN because he talks 24 hours a day. But doesn't catch many, at least this year, as there is a play in the backfield. Mo Lewis comes from the outside backer position, number 57. Makes the stop on Ken Clark.
Mo Lewis was blitzing all the way on the play, and no one was there to block him. They overloaded on the one side. Look at here. Here's the play. Mo Lewis comes in. Nobody gets out to block him. Moss, number 73, was the closest guy to him. He doesn't make the play.
That's going to wind out the third quarter as quarterback Jeff George just comes to the sidelines before the quarter ends to get as much advice as he can. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. The Colts lead the Jets 3-0. We're back at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. We're ready to start the fourth quarter. The Indianapolis Colts still holding to a 3-0 lead over the Jets on a first-half field goal by Dean Biasucci that came after he missed his previous 2 field goal tries. The Jets have never really threatened to score. They got down fairly close once, then a sack threw them way back. They've never even tried a field goal, has not been near the end zone. Jeff George takes a look, gets time, drills to an open man. Running with the ball is Kerry Cash, the tight end, and he's down to the 10-yard line. On a 3rd and 13 play, they get 18 yards and a first down.
Rick, look at this. You talk about what the offensive line does. Hold it right there. Freeze it. Look at that lane that Jeff George has to look down. There is not a white shirt that he has to worry about coming at him. All he has to do now is find a receiver he wants open. He looks to the left. Here's Kerry Cash on the outside, the tight end. He is wide open, first down. But it starts with the offensive line blocking, and they opened up that hole.
Look at the positioning of those linesmen also to spot his foot being in. Great second look. Our producer today for NBC Sports is Glenn Adamo. Our director, John Gilmartin. Executive producer, Terry O'Neill. As the throw to the end zone is picked off. The Jets stop the threat. And running the ball back is Michael Brim all the way out across the 25-yard line as the Jets again deliver the big play to keep the Colts from scoring.
The play was to Jesse Hester. He was supposed to run a post pattern to the inside. He breaks back to the outside. What happens? Jeff George throws the ball on target. Watch this. And Brim's the only guy there. When he throws the ball, watch where Hester is. See him going to the corner on the right side? Nobody there. Brim says, thank you. I'll take this and bring it out to the 25. What a heads-up defensive play. Now, you've got to believe on that particular play that Jesse Hester went the wrong way. He was supposed to run a slant.
If that's the case, Jesse is not covering himself with glory today. A big drop earlier. Entman stuffs the run. Number 90.
There isn't much we've seen in the first 3 quarters of this ball game that would go in either one of their highlight films. But I'll tell you what, they've been playing some great defense, both of these teams. And I watch Entman, number 90. He's just coming down the line of scrimmage. Blair Thomas goes there. Entman has got Irv Eatman was trying to block on him. It's there. They're fired up. That's a loss of 2.
Second and 12. Crowd has really kicked in now. Jets go back to the run. Blair Thomas runs it. Entman again catches him from behind this time. Catches him 7 yards downfield.
And the Jets are still trying to run against this defense, and we're looking at Entman again. Now, there is a block by White. Watch Entman spin back out to the outside. Is that a great play or not? And then back in to make the tackle. Come on. That is outstanding play.
Entman looked like a football player early in life. As a high school junior, he weighed 275. Now he's about 295. And it seems like about 1,000 for the Jet blockers. Nagel throws. He makes the connection. Down it goes to the 39-yard line. First down, Jets. On a 3rd and 4 play, Al Toon, the receiver, Chris Good, the tackler.
When Jeff George came off, he went to the bench, and sitting on the bench was Brooks 80 and Langhorne was sitting there. He walked over and pointed to his head, Crick, and he said, think. You've got to think when you're out there. And that time, it cost them at least a field goal, possibly a touchdown down there. Now here are the Jets turning it around.
Very good point. You picked that up, that he ran the wrong pattern, and his defender standing there ready to catch it. First down.
Entman.
There's Entman. Starting to look like the Outland Trophy winner and the Lombardi Award winner and the #1 draft pick.
Well, you know, when we talked to the people here at the Colts yesterday, and when we asked about Entman and Coriat, they said the reason they drafted these guys, and watch number 90, here he comes, he splits the 2 linemen and makes the play. There's Chip Banks, number 51, making a tackle, but Entman was there. But they said as soon as they drafted these 2 guys, 90 and 55, they knew right now that they're going to play. They penciled them in. They said, these 2 guys are playing. Now we need to find 9 more.
Well, you knew Harrod was one, and Bickett and Banks, because the linebackers are really good. Downfield throw, tip ball, and Kerry Good almost picked it off. A tremendous play by this former Alabama running back. Kerry Good now playing corner.
They were trying to hit Burkett coming across the middle, and Good was right there and made a sensational play. Now we're seeing some excellent defense. We've been seeing it all day long, some good defense. But watch Good. Gets his hand there. Ball's up in the air. It's excellent coverage. A little frustration. He wanted the ball. He had a chance of picking off today.
Big down now for Nagel and the Jets. 3rd down, they need 11. And all of a sudden, the Hoosier Dome really comes alive. Entman chasing him down, and he gets him. 16-yard loss on the sack by Entman.
Sweeney and White never laid a hand on him.
He's a big one, old Steve.
And he loves, he's just having a great time playing football.
Talking to some of the linemen on offense, Kevin Paul, he said he can't believe how this kid works. He never opens his mouth.
I watch it. He just throws White away and gets back to Nagel. I mean, that is outstanding play.
Yes, sir. A big one from Eastern Washington. University of Washington Husky played in their national championship team, and that forces a punt. Clarence Verdun. Next to reception, Clarence has a rap song out now called Peace Y'all. Not moving up the charts that well, but
yeah, that'll be #1. We'll be back.
this is Don Crickey with Paul McGuire back at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, where the Colts, who won not at all here last year, they were 0-8 at home. They were 1-15 for the season. Their lone victory over the Jets at Giant Stadium last November. Continue to lead the Jets 3-0. A tremendous play by the top rookie in the draft. Steve Entman just took the Jets out of position and made them punt the ball.
Oh, he made a great play on Dwayne White. I mean, he just threw him away. He just threw him aside, and he was so quick. Watch this. Watch it from the end zone. Number 90. There's White. He's by. Once he's by, it's over with. Now Browning Nagel is gone. You're down.
Browning working hard to elude him, but you couldn't get away from Entman, who John James, the coach of Washington, said is the best football player I've ever seen at college level.
Well, and now you're watching these guys. Coriat is really not having to do too much today, but now you know why that when they drafted him, they knew they were going to start.
Colts go first down and 10 from their 36-yard line. George with a throw. Blitz with a catch. And for a first down, he's down to the Jet 43-yard line.
Frick, first of all, there aren't many quarterbacks that can make this throw. And I'm not kidding you. He's rolling to his right, he being Jeff George. He's rolling out to his right, and then he throws it back towards the middle of the field to Brooks. And to have that much confidence in your arm and that much velocity to get it there, watch this. Here he is rolling out to his right. Now look where he throws the ball. He's beyond the numbers. Look at this ball. Right on target and hits him in the chest. I mean, that's a perfect throw. Going the other way. There aren't many guys that can throw it.
That well. Here's a pitch back. Anthony Johnson, who's been quiet for a while, runs on first down and gets ahead for 3 yards. He's to the Jet 40-yard line. The game clock is down to 9:30 to play, and it remains a 3-0 game. The Colts in the lead.
One of the keys, I'll give it to you right after you do this.
I was just going to remind people next Sunday, Paul, the Chiefs, who today beat the Eagles, play the Cowboys at Irving, Texas, a big game. The day starts with NFL Live at 12:30 Eastern Time. San Diego comes to Indianapolis, and San Diego, while most likely not a playoff team, has one of the best defenses in the NFL. It grades out number 4 right now.
We'll be here doing that game, and we've seen San Diego twice, and they are some kind of defensive team. It'll be a nice matchup with this Colts offense.
Might be a 0-0 shutout. George throws and very nearly was intercepted as the Jets had the coverage on. He had nowhere to go, and the rush was coming.
And this is intentional grounding, my friend.
That's probably right.
But they're not going to call it. I mean, there was absolutely no one around. Jeff George throws his ball. Now watch. Look to the left. Do you see a receiver? There's not a receiver near there. Hester's going outside. Look at this. There's nothing but white shirts.
Joe Kelly was there.
Yeah, but he has to have see the blue guys are the Colts. Yeah. And the guys in the white shirts happen to be the Jets.
Okay.
I'm just trying to help you out.
Wait up for me. I'm catching on. Second down. Colts need 15. Here comes the heat. There's a throw. Anthony Johnson on the run. He takes on a tackler and gets to the 40-yard line. That'll bring up third down and about 7.
Johnson just smiling. He's happy to be playing.
Well, he never got much work his first couple of years. He was a key player on Notre Dame's last national championship team in '88.
You know, Crick, we were talking about the Jets, and one of the things that Pete Carroll told us is we got to keep this defense off the field, and the offense moving the ball. This defense has been on the field all day, and boy, I'll tell you something, they've done a great job. Okay, now the Colts have a free play.
Jeff George is going to, if the play goes the other way for the Jets, is about a 25-yard sack on the play. Paul Fraze was in there along with Marvin Washington. Washington finally got him.
And they're going to be offside, though. The Jets are going to bring this back, and a 25-yard loss.
Offside, defense, 5 yards.
Pete Carroll looking for answers. Greg Robinson is the defensive line coach for the Jets, 2 good ones.
You know, you look at him. Yeah. You look at this Pete Carroll, I mean, I tell you, nothing frustrates him. I mean, I like him as a defensive coordinator. He does so many things so well, and he's always in the ballgame. I don't care what the score is out there. I don't care what the offense is doing. That's not his concern. His concern is this defense. We've already held them to only 3 points in this ball game. They've had the ball 3 times as much as we've had the ball, probably 3 times as many yards as we've had, but we're still in the ball game with only 3 points, and that's what counts.
Well, as you pointed out earlier, Paul, was that 36-yard pass interference penalty. All the other coaches were protesting the officials, and Carroll was getting his guys ready for the next play because it's coming up regardless. 7:52 to go and a timeout on the field. Broda, who is the second oldest head coach in the NFL. The oldest is Marv Levy of the Bills. Looking on as he sees a 3rd down arise for his Colts. 3rd down and 3 as they hold a 3-0 lead in the 4th quarter over the New York Jets. Jets fake blitz. Anthony Johnson gets the ball and the Jets read it all the way. Mario Johnson again was in on the play, and again the Colts have to punt the ball, so the Jets get another chance with 7:38 to go.
They took time out to call that? They took time out to call a play to cause a 3-yard loss. Well, I mean, you're looking at punting again. Do you take the penalty?
Ron Stark, the NFL's leading punter, 3 times a Pro Bowl player, back to hit the ball. He'll punt it from about the 50-yard line, which for him is a pooch punt. Try to angle it in as deep back is Rob Carpenter, number 82 for the Jets.
Take a penalty here? Yeah.
His leg's so strong. They're doing this so they give him more room to kick it. He can place the ball easier to mark back.
Still 4th down.
Jets and Colts play what a lot of people think was the most significant NFL game, or certainly one of them ever. Back in January 12th of 1969, that was the day the Jets, as almost a 3-touchdown underdog, beat the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III. Soon after came the AFL-NFL merger. That was their only postseason meeting. The left footer hits a knuckleball downfield, and he forces a fair catch. A fumble ball is picked up by the Colts. Anthony Johnson, he goes in.
You can't advance that.
They're going to mark it down.
You can't advance the ball for the touchdown. They'll get the ball at about the 14-yard line. I mean, you know, turnovers, we talked about them. You can't do turnovers. This is what the team talked about. You can't make a mistake. This, even in this ball game, the whole time, Carpenter just drops the ball. Look at this. Johnson is right there. Gets the ball inside the 15-yard line. Colts have it back. I mean, you just, when you're struggling, again, you cannot make those kinds of mistakes. That's 10. Marcia Broda. Thank you.
He's seen his team miss 2 very makeable field goals. Saw an end zone pass intercepted when the receiver cut the wrong way. Ruling is a muff of the fumble. Here is the referee, Jerry Austin, a muff of the punt.
And you can't advance it.
Rob Carpenter is the Jet who lost the punt. Anthony Johnson is the Colt who picked it up. Anthony's got some moves.
Did you get him a 10 on this flip? Perfect. Roll over. Up. Nice drill. Nice drill.
So the Colts, with their 3-0 4th quarter lead at 6:30 to play now, go 1st and 10 at the Jet 15. That's left early. Now 3rd down. Hester can't hold on to it. I don't think you can fault Hester on that. I mean, what a pop put on him.
Well, they're gonna call Lonnie Young, I think, for popping him. I mean, that it looked like a ping pong ball. They threw the ball in the air. Hester goes up. He comes down. He doesn't make the catch. But watch at the end of it. Here's the ball in your hands. Bang. Here comes Lonnie Young. Now, you know what's a headbutting. He hit him with his face mask. He hit him his head.
Defense. We're going to enforce both fouls. We have offside on the defense. And we have a personal foul after the play's over. Late hit.
Double hit against the Jets. Offside on the Jets. Personal foul on the Jets, and the referee just said they're enforcing both fouls.
Well, the personal foul comes after the play. Okay? So you get...
Just, even though it was a split second in, right?
Frazier is offside right here. That's offside.
There's one.
Okay? That's one.
That second one's kind of tough, though.
Well...
It is football.
Yeah, but he hit him with his helmet. in the head. And that's where he watch him. He hits him in the head. Here, bang. And that's where they called it. I mean, it looks like a good, solid hit to me. Now, if they're going to enforce both of them, first of all, you enforce the 5-yard penalty, which takes the ball down to the 10. And then you enforce the half the distance. Here it goes. 1, 2.
Foul takes it to the 5.
Then personal foul and half the distance. So now they got it to 5. That's right. Even I had that figured out. I know you did, Crick. You were right on top of that.
Got it. What it all means is they sort this out and miss a field goal, and we still stay 3-0. The end zone has not been entered. Either way, 3-0 Colts. Well, he's had some drops, and he's had a guy run the wrong way, and that was his worst play of the day. He threw it right to a defender who dropped it.
Why don't you put Maurice Carthen in the ball game, number 44, let him block, and send Johnson up in there 4 times, or at least 3 times.
Then miss the field goal.
Yeah, and then miss it. But I mean, you're first of all, when you're throwing the ball and you've got 6 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the ball game, you're throwing the ball and the ball's knocked down or almost intercepted, but knocked down. That stops the clock. If you're running the ball, at least you're going to be able to run 2 or 3 minutes off the clock.
Well, there you go. Anthony Johnson turning the corner, heading towards the end zone. He's not in. Touchdown saving tackle by Lonnie Young, and more flags down.
Lonnie Young. This one looks like holding against the Colts, which will move that back. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Here's a situation that I just don't agree with in professional football. Now,
holding number 80, 10 yards. Repeat,
Billy Brooks.
second
Now,
down.
I'll tell you what I don't agree with. They're going to get the holding penalty, and they're going to get a 10-yard penalty back, right? Now, when the Colts, or when the Jets got caught for the personal foul, they only got 5 yards out of it. My feeling is this: if that's the case in a major penalty down there, they only get 5. Then on a major penalty on the Colts, they should only get 5 yards back this way and not the full 10.
Something to consider, really.
Hey, I like it. Sounded good to me when I thought about it.
We're not going to go with it, but here's George now rolling out. He's got a free chance. He doesn't like to run, quite obviously. He takes the 12th man and bails out. He could have taken off and gone. I guess he's taken his hit for the day from Bobby Houston, which at the time looked like it might be a rib breaker, but he was only out for a play. Now Bobby Houston goes down. He looked like he pulled something.
Yeah, I mean, these fans here, don't go booing Jeff George because the guy runs out of bounds. He's your franchise, folks. I mean, what do you want him to do? Run up and get nailed again? Here goes Jeff George. Kevin Call gets an excellent block. George gets to the outside. Here's where he had the chance to go now, but he didn't. He goes out of bounds, and these people booed him. I don't understand that one.
He's no question. He's a franchise. All the teams that have come up markedly from very bad records have done it with the franchise quarterback and the dominating down lineman. First, the Steelers did it with Joe Green and Bradshaw. The Bills did it with Bruce Smith and then Jim Kelly. Kelly was drafted before Smith, but he came after him because he played in the USFL. Colts could be doing it with Steve Empman and Jeff George.
They're working on Bobby Houston over on the sidelines, and that's what the delay is. And you know, when they pull your foot back like that, more often than not it's cramps, and I think that's what he's got. Number 55 is running along the goal line. Watch here, and I think he just gets cramps. He got a cramp in his leg, and he's down. Yeah, he's down. And I don't know if you've never had it, you don't understand. It really hurts. I mean, a lot.
He's been an excellent player, Bobby Houston, a Plan B acquisition from Atlanta. Now the Colts go with a flood formation. They've got every receiver they have running patterns here. They're down from the 13-yard line. Jeff George gets some time, starts to run out of it. Puts the ball away and almost throws it to Paul Fraze. As George is down, he could be hurt. He's not getting up. Yes, he now is.
Intentional grounding against George. I mean, Jeff, if you're going to throw that ball away, throw it away a little bit sooner than that, not while you're getting hit. I mean,
Intentional grounding, number 11.
That's a loss of down.
The foul is a slide.
Penalty and loss of down. But here's, I mean, if you're going to throw it away now.
Loss of down.
Not when you're getting hit and you're going down.
Rookie Kurt Barber, number 98, got him.
And Jeff George is down on one knee. Whether he's just taking a blower. Now he's yelling at the bench. Obviously, he's all right. Pete Carroll. Look at Pete Carroll. He got that little smile on his face. Yep. That's our defense is doing it to you, son.
Jet offense hasn't been in shouting distance of the end zone. Still scoreless are the Jets, trailing 3-0.
Look at Pete Carroll. He's hugging his players. Hasty is there. And Pete Carroll, look, you think, watch this, intentional grounding. Look. Intentional ground. Oh, you got it. Now what? You got to slow down. Slow down, Pete. Got to get that motor out of third gear.
Biasucci ready to try a field goal. This will be a 47-yarder. Blocked. He missed the field goal. Form chart has not changed. Now the Jets rise up. Throw back the Colts. Get an intentional grounding. Lost it down. And Biasucci misses his third field goal in 4 tries. But he did make one. And that's the difference in the game. As the Colts continue to lead with 5:20 to play. 3-0.
See it? He's the guy that gets his hand up. I mean, that ball never cleared the line. Brace is not that tall, but he got up in the air, got that hand up. That's what they teach you to do, is get your hand up in the air. You never know when something's going to happen. That time it did. Well, you got to give an awful lot of credit to this Jet defense. They've been something.
And to the Colts defense. Blair Thomas protecting the ball. Both hands on it. Maybe the Jets really dodged a bullet in that last one, because that came after the fumbled punt by Carpenter that Anthony Johnson recovered deep in the Jets' end, and they still came away with no points.
They had it at the 14-yard line and couldn't make anything happen with it. You said it right at the beginning when they got the ball. They missed the field goal. Well, they had it blocked. Jeff George, when he was down, he's got that towel in his mouth. He bit his tongue. And Sam Clancy is back in the ball game for the Colts. There's the man who blocked it.
Second down and 7 for Browning Nagel of the Jets. He's got room to run. He can take it himself for the first down. Look at this one. Quentin Coriat come across the field. This is a mobile linebacker.
Mobile linebacker, and also Entman was as the other guy that was chasing Nagel. But Coriat has got tremendous speed. We talked about that. Browning Nagel is going to come out to the left of your screen here. Look at 55. He's in the middle. Watch him. Watch him close. Here comes 55. Coriat. Let me get out of here.
They talk about his sideline to sideline range. He just showed it. But the Jets get a first down on the scramble by Browning Nagel. 4:33 to go. Clock starts with the snap. Jets down 3-0. Blair Thomas to the 45-yard line. Stopped by Entman. Jets going to be very cautious here, Paul, not to do anything drastic that would force a turnover or allow one. They could get into field goal range, maybe tie it, possibly win it, get the coin flip and win it in overtime on a field goal.
Yeah, but Terry Blanchard's leg's probably asleep. He hasn't used it except the kickoff in the beginning of the game at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Terry Blanchard, the new place kicker, was 3 for 3 on field goals and extra points. He was the margin of difference last Sunday night in the Jets' first win. Handoff goes to Blair Thomas. He's ahead for a first down. First down for the Jets at the 49. Big Irv Eatman at 320 pounds, blocking Coriat. And Entman, switching their lineup. Coriat, the linebacker, lines up against him here.
Watch Irv Eatman now. He gets his hands out to the outside. Not a whole lot of holding, just enough to get by. Can't get those arms outside. They're going to call him on it. First down, Nagel. Here comes the rush. Downfield throw. Tip ball and almost intercepted
Burkett had a hand on it, but when it hit the turf, a Colt was right there with it.
Harrod was downfield. Jeff Harrod, number 54, is covering. He's the guy that's looking for Burkett coming across the middle. Watch 54 get in this play right here. There's Jeff Harrod, makes the tip. Let's get in some depth.
Jets fighting for their lives. A 1-14 after a perfect preseason. And after this, they have a week off, then 3 of the AFC's best, Buffalo, Miami, and Denver. They need this game, and they're down 3-0 with 3:08 to play.
Safety blitz.
Second down throw, Burkett in the open field. Chris Burkett still on the run, is down to the 24-yard line. So the Jets get the big play. And Chris Burkett, the MVP of the season ago, voted that by his teammates, gets the first down.
I'm going to tell you something. It was a blitz, all-out blitz by both safeties, and Browning-Nagel read it perfectly. He picked the open man, which was Chris Burkett, got the ball to him. They have the ball inside the 25 to the 24. They're on their way.
These guys could be playing after 7 o'clock. Field goal would tie it. Could be an overtime game if they do tie it. Baxter runs as they take it right up the middle. They're playing percentage football now. They're well within range for Kerry Blanchard. And we're down now to the 2-minute warning. So the Jets mount their deepest challenge with 2 minutes to play in the game, still trailing 3-0. Back at the Hoosier Dome, Kerry Blanchard, free agent place kicker the Jets picked up. He kicked in the championship game and won the championship game in the World Football League for the Sacramento Surge, and then last week helped the Jets to their first win with 3 field goals, the longest from 47. And 3 extra points against the New England Patriots in a 30-21 Jet win. He could be called on shortly to try and tie this one. There's Biasucci sitting up, number 4. He's had 2 misses and a block today. He's made 1 though, and that's the difference. Colts lead at 3-0. Freeman McNeil, did he catch the ball? Apparently he did, and he stays inbound, so the clock runs. Overtime, Paul McGuire looming larger and larger.
Really isn't it? What the Jets are really trying to do here is they're trying to score a touchdown. There's no question about that. But if they're going to go for the field goal, what they want to do is run as much time off the clock as they can so the Colts won't have a chance to come back with this offense. So you look at those numbers, look at the Colts, 277 yards, they have 3 points. Defense has been the story for both of these teams all day long.
Biggest down of the game for the Jets offense, 3rd down and 7. Blair Thomas takes it down to the 18-yard line, and that will mean the field goal unit comes out as Coach Coslett checks on the sidelines. The field goal unit's on the field, led by Kerry Blanchard, a free agent from Oklahoma State.
See, I don't know why. If I were the Colts, I would take a timeout here.
Absolutely.
Because all the Jets are going to do is just run this clock down as far as they possibly can. There's 46 on the clock, 23, so they get down, and the Colts will get the ball with about 30 seconds to go in the ball game.
And so often in overtime, now first we have to see if the kick is good. Be a 35-yarder on the way. It's good. And the Jets tie the game with 30 seconds to play, and that is an absolutely the most valid point yet. Why didn't they stop the clock? Now they have 30 seconds. They could have had a minute to work with.
They had, at least a minute to work with, and it has still had 1 timeout to go. They have 2 timeouts, but they only have 30 seconds to work with. You lost 30 seconds on the clock, which amounts to about 4 plays if you get a hurry-up offense like this team has here.
Each team with 2 timeouts, so we know after the Jets kick it off, we'll see the long ball thrown by Jeff George, trying to get the Colts in field goal range. Futile as the field goal has been for them today, except for that 1 that they made. Very often, if you do go to overtime, it's the coin flip that really decides who's going to win it. First possession often wins the game.
This could be our second one this year, Krister.
Yep.
Ooh. Exciting. He got Clarence Verdun back there, and there's the one guy that just don't want to kick the ball to.
Clarence Verdun. He returned to kick for a touchdown in the Colts upset of the Jets last November. It's been quiet today. Aguiar is the kickoff man for the Jets. He has the ball teed up at their 35. 30 seconds to play, a 3-3 game.
This is where they like to kick the ball up in the air and make the offensive return team call for a fair catch. We'll see if they do it.
High spinning kick that Verdun will take at the goal line. Here he comes. Whoa. He sprints out of bounds with 24 seconds left. And the Colts will go from their 25-yard line. Dennis Price ran him out after a 25-yard return.
Jeff George is in no hurry. Carthen's in the game. You know, you wonder, do you just go ahead now and run the clock out? And you play pretty good defense. That was the only time that the Jets had a threat of a score. Was near the end of the fourth quarter, the end of this fourth quarter here. I think they'll just sit on the ball, go with the coin toss, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're not going to try and do anything. And they're going to get some boos here. Now the Jets are taking timeout. They're going to get booed again.
Still, they let over 30 seconds tick away while the Jets set for the tying field goal.
Well, they've given up 3 points, okay? So why not? I mean, there's nothing wrong with their defensive football team. They've been handling the Jets most of the day. Let's see what happens in overtime. And a lot of times, the team that ends up kicking off is the one with the advantage. Because you got them deep in their territory, you stop one time, you get a good punt return, and you're in a position to kick a field goal and win the ball game.
But percentage-wise, more often the team that gets first possession wins more overtime games since they've gone to overtime.
I would have known that you had the percentage-wise in there.
That's true.
Okay. How about this?
See the overtime records. Colts now looking for that guy with the two-headed coin.
They were in it 8 times, won 6 and lost 2.
Visitors make the call.
They're shaking hands again, which is really nice.
Starting over. It's a whole new day.
It's a whole new day. Okay, nothing happened so far, guys. Can you imagine that? They played almost 3 hours and nothing's happened.
Please call the coin when it's in the air.
Biasucci's down on the 32-yard line kicking field goals. He's practicing. I think he needs all he can get today. Now the Colts get the ball.
Indianapolis won the toss. They will receive.
You say that the advantage is in their favor?
Absolutely it is.
Okay.
They have the ball. Number 1.
That's right. Okay.
We'll be back with overtime right after these messages from your local station. Clarence Verdun for the Colts. They're trying to hide Verdun. After they want to run it back.
It'll be after that 47 was for block. Isn't that nice?
Aguiar will kick off again. High spinning kick that Verdun will take at his 4-yard line. To the 10, 20, breaks it, 35, and out to the 38-yard line, where Aguiar, the kickoff man, actually ran him out of bounds ball.
Devastating tackle. All right.
Big return.
Jeff George knows now. I mean, I don't know what to say about Biasucci. How close do you have to get? On the goal line?
I think you got to get it in the end zone. I really don't think they want to try a field goal.
It's one of those confidence factors too in a ball game. I mean, and it happens to a lot of people. You see it in golf when a guy starts losing his choke. It takes a little while to get back. And here in the game, he's missed 2 badly and had 1 blocked. I mean, it was so low that it was blocked at the line of scrimmage. Phrase, I'm not taking anything away from you. He did a great job blocking. But you do lose your confidence.
Turnover looms large also. Here's the throw. It came in on the 1 hop. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Colts as he tried an out pattern to Jesse Hester. We're in overtime at the Hoosier Dome as Jeff George checks his handy wrist playbook. Comes up with, get it downfield deep to Bill Brooks. Jets come with a 4-man rush. Swing pass to Anthony Johnson. He breaks it inside. A terrific run by Johnson, who has a first down for the Colts.
You know who makes this play work really after it's thrown out there, other than George and Johnson, is Ray Donaldson, number 53. Watch what the center does. And it really doesn't get a big block. On the right of the screen, watch this. Bing. He just gets a piece of Mo Lewis and enabled him to get a first down. That's hustle.
Wasn't a pancake block, but it certainly was an influencer in getting the first down. So now the Colts get it out to their 47-yard line. Here comes the rush. There's the throw. Whoa, the Jets are all over the receiver. Hester protests he was fouled, but the official right there says the coverage was good. Mike Brim was covering. 2nd and 10.
The Jets in the secondary. I mean, here's Brim on Hester on the top of your screen. Watch this. He's going over for the ball. Now, these people want to see a call here. Hester's looking for when he's getting hit. But when you look at this, look at the Colts. All they have to do is not to worry about going downfield to 10 to 12 yards. Just throw that little dump pass again out to Johnson or out to the tight end, because these people are open short. The Jets are giving them the short stuff. Ball outside the Jets.
They play for Jeff George. It'll be 2nd down and 5. We had somebody in the neutral zone for the Jets.
Defense, offside, 5 yards, repeat 2nd down.
Mercero, he made contact. There it is.
He really wants Jeff George, but he left a bit early.
I would dump this ball again out to Anthony Johnson. Reason being that he's going to be one-on-one on number 57, Mo Lewis. If you can get that kind of a matchup, you got to give the benefit of the doubt to the runner.
Sure worked last time.
It did.
Good for 11 yards and a first down. 2nd down and 5 now for the Colts as they cross midfield. Anthony Johnson on the run. He gets plenty. First down Colts to the 38-yard line of the Jets. Ryan Washington makes the tackle.
You know, I'm just sitting here thinking, you know, teams, all right, you're going to see Anthony Johnson again. Put the blocking up front. Ray Donaldson and company, they just get some excellent block. Dixon gets a good block. Salt gets a good block. Watch that in the middle of the line. There's Salt. There's Dixon. Kevin Paul. Moss. But, you know, I was sitting there and I started laughing. Where do you decide, okay, we're going to kick the field goal, Rick? I mean, or win.
Well, I tell you, you've got to be way down to try. And the last one was blocked. That puts an additional wrench in the wheel works as they Jets have gotten a big rush up the middle on Biasucci. What a catch.
No, he didn't.
No?
The ball hit the ground.
Ball hit the ground, no catch. Looked like Hester had it, but the official right there says no. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Ball to the outside. There's Jesse Hester coming back to the ball. There, the ball goes through his arms. The official is right there. Excellent call. And terrific coverage. James Hasty. I mean, he's been out there on that island. He and Brim, they've been out there by themselves. Now you're going to have Brim on the top side with Langhorne.
There's Jesse Hester. He's coming out wide left. He's up against James Hasty, the Jets' best one-on-one cover. 2nd down and 10. Jets bring up the linebackers coming on a blitz. It's picked up. Perfect throw and a catch by Langhorne.
Oh,
you might want to keep running.
No, you don't want to keep running. He almost lost his head. I'm going to tell you something. Brim makes a tremendous play here. You talk about perfect timing by the corner. Watch Brim 43 as Langhorne catches the ball. There's the ball. Watch this. Bang, bang. I mean, that is great defense, and also give Langhorne credit for hanging on to the ball. Now you're 3rd and 1. You know,
it was a great tackle, but he gave up a 9-yard catch.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, you're out there one-on-one. They got Carthen in the backfield.
And they've got Rodney Culver in, a rookie running back, 225-pound plus backs. Culver. I don't know if he got there. They've got to go for it, I think, from scrimmage if he didn't get there.
I'll tell you what, it depends on where they mark the official.
It's going to be short, it looks like, Paul.
Sanford Rivers, number 121, is the guy that ran in there, and he's the one that was going to mark the ball. Now,
we're sending out Biasucci. Well, you got to stick with your guy. They're doing that.
Oh, sure. I mean, he's a good kicker, believe me. I'm just saying, he's just had a terrible day. I mean, he could have won this game a long time ago. The first time he missed the field goal. And you notice the guys just stay away from that. Stark's going to call a timeout.
The ball is positioned at the 29-yard line. The hold will be at the 37.
Jets are going to call a timeout. That's right. Make them think about it.
Guy looks like maybe he can't see out of that helmet too well. Looks like down over his eyes. Be a 47-yarder. So Dean Biasucci has given some time to think it over as he has a chance to win it in overtime.
Hit it.
Sure, he's been talking to himself enough after those misses.
Yeah, but he's starting to argue with himself. Then you really know you got a problem. Boy, you could really be a hero here, or a big goat. Talking about the whole herd.
The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. Coordinating producer of NFL football, John Ferratzis. The producer of today's game, Glenn Adamo. Directed by John Gilmartin. Our thanks to statistician Jeff Nelson and Jeff Yarbrough. As the Indianapolis Colts have a long time to think over what could decide this game for them. Show of unity on the 50.
That's a lot of defensive guys saying, please. We don't want to go. Please make this thing so we don't have to go out there again.
Ed Marchabrota aging quickly on the sideline. This is it. Or is it? He misses. The Jets take over, and they'll get their crack at it. A 3-3 game.
He's got it.
Dean Biasucci redeems himself with a 47-yard field goal that wins the game in overtime 6-3.
Biasucci, when he kicks it, he knows he's got it. And Stark do it too. I mean, the holder can almost feel it because that pop that he has. They both do it as soon as the ball was hit. This is just a sensational defensive football game.
It was that. Once again, our final score, the Colts 6, the Jets 3. Coming up next on NBC, the presidential debate. Then stay tuned for eyewitness video. Later, the best-selling author Jackie Collins miniseries Lady Boss. For Paul McGuire, this is Don Crickey. Glad you could be with us from Indianapolis, where the Colts win by